always tell my DACA recipients, we're not victims, we're heroes, we're not angry, we're on fire, we're not dreamers, we're makers. So I use that to inspire me, to fuel me to continue doing my work every day.
Our next guest is a filmmaker, a member of our community, and a DACA recipient. Here to tell us about his story and theory about being a maker is our friend Jorge Xolalpa. Welcome, Jorge.
Thank you so much for having me today.
To have you here. Okay, Jorge, I have to break the ice by asking you this question. How does it feel to come out twice, as a gay man and as a DACA recipient?
It's scary, but it's also liberating, because I feel like this whole time you just have to be hiding who you are and who you're supposed to be, and there's this idea that your status defines who you really are. But it's really satisfying, because now I see other youth, undocumented youth, and also LGBTQ youth who look up to the stuff that I do, or like yourselves, and they appreciate that. They appreciate that we're able to come out and speak about what we believe and stay true to who we are.
Yeah, and with your filmmaking and everything that you're doing, you definitely are showing those stories,
Yeah, and I think that's helped too, Maybe I haven't really said it much, like up front, but my work is always representing my community from, whether you're Latino, undocumented, LGBTQ, and I'm really proud of that.
You're from Mexico.
I am. I was born in Mexico, and I've been here for 21 years now, and I've had DACA for about 6 years now, and although it's a little scary, I always tell my DACA recipients, we're not victims, we're heroes, we're not angry, we're on fire, we're not dreamers, we're makers. So I use that to inspire me, to fuel me to continue doing my work every day.
Yeah, and it's so important that we take these stories and take them out of the shadows, because the more people see your story and stories like yours, the more acceptance can come about. There's so much misunderstanding with propaganda machines out there against DACA and DACA recipients and what it means.
Fake news.
Hashtag fake news. And it's got to be a scary time, but talk a little bit about your CNN project and what you're doing to help bring those stories forward.
I'm working together with America Arias, who's a producer at CNN, and we're doing a docu-series about DACA recipients. And we're highlighting 10 of the most prominent DACA recipients in the country, from actors in the industry to athletes, to the first attorney, Dulce Garcia, who sued the Trump administration after they rescinded DACA. And my goal is to be able to tell everyone that we are American. There's this idea that we're just constantly dreaming about pursuing or doing things, but we're no longer dreaming. I mean, we're making this country. We're part of the generation that's changing this country. And I always tell people, whether you like it or not, yes, I can go to China, Mexico, wherever you want to send me to. But the thing is that I'm not going anywhere. Like, whether you take my paper or you let me keep my paper, I'm going to be here and I'm going to make films and I'm going to make sure that I make a difference.
And I think it's so important, especially in this political climate, that we are taking DACA stories out of the shadows and putting them into the mainstream, because right now the propaganda and people are they misunderstand what it really means to be a DACA recipient in this country. So with that said, I want to talk about your story, your project, with CNN. And
absolutely,
what's going on with that?
So I'm doing a docu-series where we're highlighting 10 DACA recipients. And the entire series is being made by either former undocumented or DACA recipients. And it's just to highlight the stories from actors, athletes. We have Dulce Garcia, who was the first attorney to sue the Trump administration after they tried to take away DACA. And my goal is to show the American people that we're also American. We're no longer dreamers, we're makers. We're not victims, we're heroes. We're not angry, we're just on fire, because we are changing the next generation, and we're teaching the youth, the undocumented and LGBTQ youth, that no matter what happens, whether you have a piece of paper or not, this administration can try to send us anywhere. But the thing is that we're not going anywhere. It's my choice to be here. It's my choice to contribute to this country that's given me so much.
On top of all of this, you're an amazing creative and filmmaker.
Thank you.
So what are you working on? What are we going to see? What's coming?
So, ever since we entered the Trump administration, I got inspired to make a film about the first 2 years when we immigrated to the U.S. And right now I have a film based on my mom's life titled Your Iron Lady. And it just pretty much tackles what an immigrant family went through the first 2 years coming to America in 1998.
Oh, I think somebody I know is in it.
Yes, you're in it. Yes. And I'm super excited. No, I'm super excited because I got together with, I call it my filmmaking family, people that I've been making films since I started about 4 years ago. And it's a very personal piece. It's based on a book that my mother hasn't published. And I don't think she's ever going to, but I took 2 chapters from the book, I adapted into a screenplay, and now we have a film. And it's in Spanish, and I'm excited. I'm excited because it's a story about family. It's a story about coming to a different country, and most importantly, it's a story about love. My production company, Mighty Aphrodite Pictures, we produce stuff with stories about women, and recently we started adding more stories about LGBTQ. But I always tell people, it's like it's not a trend. I mean, without women, we wouldn't be here. We all come from a woman.
Yeah.
It's like we all come literally out of a woman. So it's like whether you like it or not, it's good to tell these stories, and I'm excited. I'm inspired, and I'm on fire to continue making
Where
projects.
do people find you on social media and your work?
You can find me at Jorge Xolalpa Jr. It's really complicated, but just look for Jorge X.
Oh, we'll put a
and
tag, don't worry.
Everything will be up
We
there.
got you.
Yeah.
Or MightyAphroditePictures.com. And, I have a bunch of projects in development, and I want to make our community proud.
Jorge, thank you so much for coming.
you for
The
having me,
epitome of a
yes.
maker.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you,
you
thank
so
you.
much. And unfortunately, this is all the time we have for today. But thank you for watching. For more about Jorge and us, don't forget to check out LATV.com. And we'll see you next time. Bye.